What is popping? Your boy Roger, real deep cool here. Thanking the heavenly for the opportunity to be able to see you guys on my way to the other thing I do, chauffeuring. How did you buy? So as a Saturday, I usually only chauffeur on the weekends because during the week I'm usually at school district doing schoolwork, paraprofessional or you know maybe just sitting in the hallway monitoring children going back to school class or something like that. I'll be doing something at somebody's school, elementary school, working with kids with disabilities and probabilities and possibilities. That's how I do it. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing a little bit of I gotta take I gotta take 6 passengers down to the Phillies game. And I'll sit there and wait. I did that last week. I took 2 passengers down to the Phillies game and waited. Nice little chunk of change, I must say, plus a tip. How did you buy? So I want to talk about my life. And I'm only talking about my life just in case, because I know there's going to be somebody out there, oh, he bragging, No, this is not even for adults. Because you've already made up your mind, if you're my age or a little bit younger, that number one, you're satisfied with where you are in your life. Number two, you good, and ain't nobody going to tell you what to do and what to say and how to do it and whatsoever. And number three, hey, I hope you really liking what you do with your life, no matter what you do at this time, especially when you're my age, and that is over senior. All right, we'll say over senior. All right, now you're allowed to compliment people that told my age. No, you ain't. No, you're not. That happens. I got friends that look younger than what they are, so it happens, and I'm appreciative when I hear that. I try to take good care of myself. I am vegan. I do a little fishing every now and then. I do a little salmon every now and then. But for the most part, I haven't done salmon in a month, actually. But, I pretty much might do one shrimp or something if I eat out with somebody. I might say, let me take that shrimp. Other than that, I've been a vegan since 2013 when I weighed 278 pounds. I'm now at a consistent 200 pounds. Not with a lot of extra fat. My thighs a little bit. I got a little extra fat. But for the most part, I became vegan to pretty much just change my life and change my lifestyle. So, hold on. I'm about to take my vitamins in a minute. I gotta take my vitamins before I get to work, so I can get started. So that's now, and I'll tell you, I'll lead up to where I just stopped, which is just changing your lifestyle for the better. Not mean you're gonna live any longer than anybody else. It just means you're trying to do the best for your lifestyle. If you're smoking, if you're drinking a lot, if you're doing this a lot, whatever. You choose what you gotta do. Especially if you're my age, you probably already made up your mind that you're gonna do whatever it is you want to do and do it. Do what you gotta do. This is between me and some other people. I'm here to set a legacy. I'm not here to have my friends was all said and done. Oh yeah, Roger's a good guy. No, I'm here to have the world say that Roger was a nice dude, entertained us, helped us, inspired us. That's what I want to have. I don't want to be an ordinary Joe. I wasn't an ordinary Joe. I wasn't an ordinary Joe when I was born. That's what I did when I was born, 1961. Now you know my age. Born in 1961 in North Philly. My mother, who was from Rennes, Georgia, the dirt roads of Rennes, Georgia, and my father, who was from the dirt roads of Ahoskie, North Carolina. So that's where I came from. And born down North Philly, Grant Street, 18th of Susquehanna is where my dad had his business at, but we was born on the 1800 block of Grant Street in an apartment, 1821. Go back and check it out. It's still there. 1821 Grant Street is where I was born, way back then. So at that point, when I came out of my mom's womb, I already knew I was going to be special. I knew it. It was something about myself that I knew. And that's not bragging. That's just, I just felt different than other people. Not then, but somewhere along the line, I felt different from other people. I know I had something about me, whether it was a gift, whether it was something, I don't know. And I just tell people, when I wasn't born perfect physically. I was born cock-eyed. I used to go in, I think it was this eye I used to always go in. And I also was born with one of my legs pigeon-toed. So I was a cock-eyed, pigeon-toed boy. Hey, but my pop, he don't play that. He's going to have the son that he want to have. And that's another controversy later on in this situation. But for the most part, he did what he had to do to get my eyes corrected and had my leg broken so to be straight. I feel I feel some kind of way about people now who they walk around and their mother and father didn't have enough money to keep them from either being really bow-legged or being pigeon-toed. That affects your life. I mean, people look at you like, oh wow. People look at you differently when you walk differently, when you stand differently. When you do that, I was just thankful that my dad took the time to take care of me when it came to that situation, and that yes, I now walk like Denzel Washington because I practice. Watch on walk like Denzel Washington. I really like this walk. All right, so anyway, continuing on. So as I grew up, I'll just go right to school. I'm not gonna get too much of my family. I'll just deal with me. So I went to school, Claghorn Elementary School, way down in North Philly, like 15th to Susquehanna or something like that. I remember Claghorn. I went there, and then in 1966, I think it was October, November 1966, Dad moved us into Northwest Philly. At the time, it was nothing but Greeks, Italians, so on and so forth. In fact, he bought his house from an Italian, and it had like a bar underneath, and that's where my studio ended up being later on in the years. People got to come to a studio for the first time, and that's where they did it at. 24th and Allegheny, 3150 Fox Street, which is right on the corner of Judson. So, sometimes we consider Fox Street, sometimes we consider Judson when they send the mail. Sometimes we get mail, 3150 Judson Street, sometimes 3150 Fox Street. That house has been sold and a long time ago, so I have no problem giving up the address. But that's where I came from. So, in school, I was pretty intelligent. I was an A student. I had issues. I had some things I was going through. But for the most part, I was an A student all the way through elementary school. And I did well in this elementary school. As that school, middle school, it opened up called E. Washington Rose, and I went there afterwards. And I was excellent in that school as well. Excellent in both of them schools enough that I ended up being invited to go to higher end high schools. One being Central, and any other high school that was high end in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, I could have went to them schools. I went to Central, couldn't stand it. I wanted to be a musician at the age of 13. I learned how to start playing guitar, or actually 12. My uncle took me to somebody, it's on my bio on my website, rogermusic.com. My uncle took me to this guy's house in New York, and I say it's really similar to the Jamie Foxx story when he was doing Charles, Ray Charles. You know what I mean? Took me to somebody's house. This guy was playing guitar. I'm like, yeah, I want to know how to play guitar. I want to know how to play guitar. Went home. My father finally reluctantly bought me a guitar. He wanted me to play sports. He wanted to be a football player. He wanted to do something, football, basketball, something. He wanted me to play sports. And I didn't want to play sports. Even though I could play sports, I can still play sports now. Don't play at me on the court. I still got a crossover that's really nice for somebody born in 1961. I also played football, baseball, softball. I played all the sports, so I wasn't like I was sports ignorant, but I just like music more. So I decided I didn't want to go to Central. I started hooky in school, and I hooky school until they kicked me out. Finally kicked me out. They was like, "You out of here, buddy. You out of here." Kicked me out. Dad was upset because he thought he'd have a son that his first, because he never went to high school. My dad dropped out of school when he was in the 6th grade. It was a wrap. He was out because he was a worker. His dad owned some land, owned some people that, and I don't want to say that word. So he had some people that worked the land. He didn't own them. He had some people to work his land, picking cotton in Hosky, North Carolina. And the Holloman name is still very relevant in Hosky, North Carolina. You go to Hosky, North Carolina, and you mention Holloman, you're going to see a lot about Hollomans in Hosky, North Carolina. All right? So, that's a weird turn with a weird, big, giant. Okay. I'm going to work a different way today, trying to see if something different than me going the way I normally go. This is not bad, though. This is pretty good. So far on the weekend, I probably couldn't do this on a weekday. It'd be too much traffic. All right, so anyway. So, yeah, I started playing guitar, and then the crossover came one day while I was in high school, and, we used to hang out. We played at different schools, Martin Luther King, other stuff. We used to be a part of Franklin Learning Center, is where I ended up going. And a lot of people, Franklin Learning Center, know what it was back in the day. It was in 1970. I went from 1975 to 1979, or 1976, something like that. And it was a school that was there for performing arts. It wasn't like the Philly School for Performing Arts, not that one, but it was like a different type of school. But we did performing arts. It also was a school you can get your GED if you didn't have a high school diploma at night. People come and get their GEDs and stuff like that. But we were right around the corner from Ben Franklin, 65th Mount Vernon. Went there, and that's when my music career really just started doing what it did. And always playing in bands, playing in bars, playing the school. I really just wanted to be that guy. And we ain't had to really do too much schoolwork because, for the most part, when it came to schoolwork, we had other people do our schoolwork because we were too busy practicing and performing at other schools. Holla at your boy, I can say that now. Thanks to Mel Williams. Thank you, Mel. Mel's still in New York. I'm still doing plays, I think. He should be about doggone 80 now, though. Well, no, he wasn't that much older than us. But anyway, Mel Williams, look him up. He's up in New York, probably producing movies and whatever he was doing. But he had a music and a drama troupe along with Faye Snow. So you guys know about Franklin Learning Center. You know Faye Snow. You definitely know Mel Williams and all the other people that was part of that. So that's what it was. I was like, man, I don't want to be no lawyer. I don't want to be no doctor. I don't want to be nothing like that, man. I want to be somebody who's creative. And doctors and lawyers can be creative and get money somehow or other. But I want to be creative. I want to make music. I had said to myself, I will never play anybody else's music. I don't really like Quincy Jones like that. But the mantra of Quincy Jones is I want people to play my music. I ain't playing nobody else's music. I do play people music when I play in bands or whatsoever. I'm just filling in. I'll play other people. But when it really comes to playing somebody's music and being on the road with an artist, I ain't doing that. People going to be on the road playing my music. That's how we going to do it. Holla at your boy. I don't do nothing second and first and best. I'm doing the best for me. So I made up my mind that's what it was going to be. So I wrote my first little thing in 1979. Because my dad one day told me when I was home, said, you're going to be coming to my house anytime you want just because, you graduated from high school. I said, really? And he was right. I was coming in, getting drunk with my boys, riding around my man's sister's car with her plates, driving around drunk. I ain't gonna lie, I was. Me and my man, Kurt Rock, rest his soul, Keith, rest his soul, Lonnie, Jerry, my other man who played bass, Ron. You know what I mean? Then we had some groups from singles, Rest Her Soul, Cheryl, Dorna, Rest Her Soul. We had a ball back then. We was getting it in. We was getting it in hard. We was on our thing. But I always just wanted to play music. I wanted to be a creator. I ain't want, creator created me to be a creator. And that's where I came from. So, with that being said, I was like, I'm just going to do my music. They was calling me Willie DX. Jerry called me Willie DX or something like that. That's something stuck in my throat. I'm going to have to spit this out. I'm telling you, it's been stuck in my throat for a while. This next light, I'm going to have to do a little spittle. But it was called me Roger DX at one time because I played guitar. Roger DX, the guitar. Stuff like that. But for the most part, that's what I did. Then I became Roger, all these names I was trying to find and get a niche. Ended up being Roger because I wanted to use Roger, but Roger Troutman, I couldn't use his name because that was his name. He trademarked Roger. So I couldn't be Roger, Zap Band Roger, or Roger Troutman. So I couldn't do that. So I had to figure out a way to spell Roger that was really, really cool, that would be fire. And I came with Rajur, R-A-J-U-R. But it was just Roger. And then a couple of people that I know now just start calling me Rajur because the way I spelled it. And that's how Rajur came along. Anyway, when I got out the Navy, I did 3 years in the Navy. VA-146 Blue Diamonds aircraft carrier CV-64. Did 3 cruises. Went out to the Indian Ocean. We defended, trying to get the hostages out of Iran that was during the Iran hostage crisis. I was out there in the Indian Ocean. We floated around for 110 days straight, which was a record at the time. Received a couple ribbons, meritorious advancement ribbons. I don't even know what these ribbons are. I got a couple ribbons while I was in there. Ended up getting out. I wanted to go, but I had an incident that I couldn't stay any longer because I was trying to help a friend out who had got kicked out of the Navy, and me helping him out actually got me where I am today. It is what it is. I don't know if I would have stayed in there for life. My cousin stayed in there. He's a lifer. Well, he didn't say right life. He out now. Life mean you done until you just can't walk anymore. But I think I probably would have stayed there longer than the 3 years. In fact, I knew I was because I was up for another shore duty, which at the time was crazy to have shore duty after 3 years being in any man's Navy. You would never get shore duty. You had to do at least 8 years to get shore duty. I was getting shore duty after 3 years because I became a specialist in what I was doing. And they was like, all right, cool. I was going to work in Warminster. With that being said, I probably would end up being a lifer. But I really like being on the seas. I really like being on an aircraft carrier. Just taking off, landing, me tying them down, me working on them in the hangar bay. But while I was doing all that, I was still doing music there. I was still a musician because I met a couple of guys that was on the boat that was musicians. And I met an officer. He liked the way I played. So we put a band together on CV64 just so we can jam. You know what I mean? We jam for the crew on stand down days. We jammed down in the hangar. Yeah, we jammed. So I was still doing music hard. Got out the Navy. Got into some situations, started building my own studio. That's where I am today. I built my own studio and always had my own studio because I didn't want to pay $125 an hour at the time to get into a studio. I ain't had no money like that. I played in studios for other people, but I ain't paying $125 an hour. Especially you wanted to use the studio Teddy Pendergrass used down in Rittenhouse when Teddy was doing his thing. I was not. I ain't no $125 an hour. So I built my own studio. And to this day, I still have my studio. So I've always had my own studio because that's just how I am. That's just who I am. I'm going to have my own. I don't like being dependent upon people on something that I really like to do. I don't have to worry about, yo, can I use your studio, man? Blah, blah, blah. And then, I got attitudes and all that stuff. I'm not sure. Or might be like, man, I don't like you like that, so I ain't going to give you the best quality. I have my own studio, make my own quality. And to this day, I have 10 albums out and over 300 compositions that are registered with Broadcast Music BMI. So I'll put out a lot of music. I have a lot of music registered. My catalog is very nice at this time. And so I did. I've done 10 albums. I worked with major artists and so on and so forth. And that's what I did. But in between that, I started working for this company called SEPA, Southeast Transportation Authority. And I worked there for 35 and 3/4 years before I retired last year in October. And I was able to work there consistently. My work ethic to work at a job and be loyal is the same loyalty I have to the bank I still have. I've been with since 1988. The same phone company I had when there used to be OmniPoint and VoiceStream. I'm still with T-Mobile since probably 1992 or something like that. I'm a loyal guy. There's nobody gonna ever say I'm not loyal. I'm loyal to a bank. I'm loyal to people. And I got other bank account stuff like that. But I'm saying when it comes to the things that I came up through, I'm loyal. So my dad was loyal to where he worked at. So, he worked this job for 25 years. I wanted to do better than him because I wanted to show him, rest his soul, and my mother, rest her soul, that yeah, you're gonna be proud of me. You're gonna be proud of me. And I know right now, my dad, even though he didn't want me to be a musician, he didn't care about me playing music. He wouldn't come to the high school when we had shows to watch us play. It would be my aunt and my mom. My aunt and my mom would come and see me play. My dad would never show up because he didn't want me to be. When I set the studio up, which I set up in his house, and I put that studio in his house for a reason. But when I built my studio up in his house, he saw I had clients and everything. He saw I was talented. Definitely, he was like, okay. Okay. That's my son right there. Okay. Because he didn't know what I was going to end up being. He just didn't know he didn't want me to end up being a bum. That was it. So I know he'd be proud of me right now. I know he's proud of me. And I'm proud to have been his son. I'm proud that my mother raised me correctly, raised me right, raised me with all righteousness she ever do. People love looking at my car, even police officers. Oh, nice car. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is what it is. Because I like special stuff. That's just me. So I'm not trying to be braggadocious, but my history stands for itself. I have nothing to be ashamed about in my history. I went to jail one time over some craziness that happened in my personal life. But of course, it was crazy, and it just never happened. But went to jail for one night. Yeah, I went to jail for one night. I went to jail for one night when I hooky school when I was in high school, and I didn't want to go to Central when I was hooky in school. I went to jail for a night. Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I ain't no jailbird. I'll let you what. I mean, so that's my life, and I say that if anybody want to show this to their children, look, it don't take you long to get to a point in your life where you can be very proud of what you do or who you are, but it takes consistency. It took me 35 and a half years to still, I'm an actor. I've been in 5 films, 2 commercials, if I'm not mistaken, and 1 music video. What you want me to do? I'm not bragging. It's my accomplishments to speak for themselves. You know what I mean? And I'm also a fashion model. I modeled when I was in high school. I model now from time to time. I'm signed up with Mainline Models and Casting, Mike Lemon Casting, and of course, Backstage. So that's how I get my jobs, acting, modeling, all that good stuff. Of course, you know I'm a Grammy member. So look, I accomplished a lot in my life, and there's still more to go. Like chauffeuring, holla at your boy. And I'm a paralegal. Hold on. Somebody's coming up. And I'm also a paralegal. And where he come from? First I thought they were going to get me because I had my seatbelt on, because he was looking at me like I had my seatbelt on. Which I didn't. I have it on when I'm driving, when I'm chauffeuring. But anyway, I accomplished a lot in my life. You know, so from I just say my life started from 1974. I became a musician. You know what I mean? 74 to 79, I went to Franklin Learning Center and did more musician work. Then after that, graduated in 1979, went to the Navy from 1979 to 1882 as an aircraft tech. Aircraft, in-fuel buddy stores, refueling devices. I did that. I left the Navy not because I wanted to, but because I tried to help a friend out and sacrifice my career for a friend. And I left the Navy, and then I started working little odd jobs. So I worked for SEPTA. Worked for SEPTA from 1988 to October of 2023, which was last year. Then I retired happily. I have no regrets. I retired. You know, other people who really have regrets to be retired are the people who don't really have anything else to do. I do have other things to do. This is not, I don't have anything else to do. He was looking for somebody. Yeah, he done, man. Whoever he caught up with them, man. He came past us and everything. And he caught up with this person. Oh, he must have been banging. Oh, yeah. He tried to get her phone number, she was banging. This is a nice way to come to work. I like this way. Not all these twists and turns and everything. And I got here before 9 o'clock. I don't go pick up my clients at 10. So let my story be your children's inspiration, whether they're male or female. Look here. You can do it. You can do what you want to do. Just keep your life right. Obey your parents as much as you can. I ain't always obey my parents, but obey your parents as much as you can. Stay out of trouble, but become an individual. Don't become a distraction to people. Don't become a distraction to yourself. Just become you. Realize everybody has a talent. Some people don't want to tap into talents. Some people like to admire other people with talents. I don't have no problem with that. I like people that like my music. They don't know how to play guitar, but they like my music. So that's a good thing too. So everything is what it is and how it is. But look, youngsters, get it together. This world's about to change one way or other sometime soon in the future. If not this year, sometime soon. Things are changing. We ain't had the internets and all interwebs, and now I'm a paralegal. I'm volunteering, not volunteering, I'm getting paid in different high schools and middle schools and elementary schools, and I'm seeing how to use the computers now. I think they need to go back to the good old chalkboard. The problem is they're overloading these children with so much. And I want to talk to the principal and the vice principal of the school I really like to go to. They're just overloading kids with too much. You got them trying to be too computer literate, then you don't need to be computer literate. They get enough of that every day when they're on the web, on their phone. Now they need to be reading and writing. I must say, there's a young man who's in the 7th or 8th grade, and this child, I don't know how he's going to graduate. He writes like he in the 3rd grade. And I was just really concerned about what I've been seeing in these elementary schools and the middle schools. I haven't worked at high school yet. That I've been seeing over the last month in doing this with Kelly Services. I'm like, this is bananas. I don't want these children taking care of me. I can't have an 8th grader who's never tried to do his work, Oh, and there's a couple of them. I'm not gonna name any names. I'm not gonna name the school where they are. But it's like, no way I would like this. I mean, he may end up being great though. Not everybody starts off great. But if you're in 8th grade and you walk and you writing on a piece of paper like you in 4th grade, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with the education system. And we know there's something wrong with the education system. We will have to admit, if we had to admit over and over again, education system is not the way I came up. It is not like that. And that's minus the computers. It's just not where it should be. I'm here to inspire the children, just in case you can't play baseball, just in case you can't be a rapper, just in case. Be a good worker. Be a good, be the best, not good. Be the best person you can be. Be the best worker you can be. You might not have all the great talents to be the best and the greatest anything, but just do what you can do to be the best you can be. And I'm telling you, you'll be very happy how you turn out. I'm happy how I turned out. I wish I was married now. A couple ladies, I hang out with whatsoever. Sometimes I want to be married. Make me think I want to be married. That I just met somebody else, kinda. And you never know. So I want to be married one day. I think having this life and having so much to give to people, I don't mind sharing with a lot of people. I have no problem sharing with a lot of people, but I want to be able to share with my special someone. I mean, write her a song every night, but I'm gonna write you a song every night before you go to bed or once a week. I don't know. Do something. I'm gonna be able to do that with somebody special in my life, and one day it's gonna happen. Because even though I'm a little older, I will not sacrifice the age range that I'm looking for a woman. I mean, you gotta be in your 50s, something like that. You know what I mean? But I don't want you in the 40s, and I don't want you over my age. I don't care. That's where I'm gonna pop off. So I'm here ready to pick up my diesel Escalade SUV. Like I said, my first job, well, my only job of the day, as far as I know right now, is to pick up 6 people in Newtown, which is right up the road, 13 minutes away, and take them to the Phillies game. Had them down there by an hour. We leaving at 10. They'd probably be down by 11. They can get down there and get set up. The hardest part about, and I just learned this because the first time I ever did this was last week. The most difficult part about this is going to be like, when you get down there, where you going to park while you're waiting for them to come out. That's the thing. I got lucky last week. I got a nice parking spot because the clients wanted to get off by the 3rd baseline. It was like, oh, shoot, this is a nice parking. Can I stay here? And other guys who were there limo and said, they might make you move. So they're trying to find a place to stay once you get down there while you're waiting for the client to come from the baseball game. So, and that's it. So I'm gonna get out of here. This might be my baby right here. This is a big long one. I'm not trying to figure out how you get 6 people in here because most of the times these are they're like big 4-seaters, not including my seat. I mean, can't nobody sit in my seat. All right, so I'm out, y'all. Get ready to do some limoing. Teach your children well. Don't get them locked in just because you do what you do. They ain't gotta do what you do. Believe me. Let them do what they want to do, as long as it's positive, all right? I'm out later.